Sorry about that, guys. Can you hear me, see me now? I was running a little bit behind. I forgot to grab my water, and then I didn't have the right headphones. It was a whole thing. I'm actually winded. Woo! I need to work out more, apparently, so that's a thing. But, how's it going? Hey. Welcome. Joe K, what's up? Man, you told me your name last time. I think it's like Rama something. I can't remember it. I'm so sorry. But Enrique Khan here. Ping Pong here. What's up? How's it going? Let's see here. What's going? What's that all about? I'm having some little issues today. It's kind of a weird thing. But yeah, this is the name that I'm talking about. Let's see here. This one. How's it going? Terry Shaw, DeGuider, what is up? Zero fell, out of breath. Yeah, no. And honestly, the kitchen, not far from here at all. Grabbed a water, hustled my little buns, and yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit better now. But yeah, so welcome everyone that's watching. We got 7 people watching already. How's it going? But yeah, today I just wanted to jump on, hang out with you guys, talk about some random little things, why not? I was about to get on here. This was another thing that kind of halted me up, but I was updating the console for my universal audio interfaces. That's what I'm using today. And this is the Electro Voice RE27. And so I updated the console for it, and it did not want to open. And this is like a M1 Pro thing. So yeah, yeah. So I tried updating that. It did not want to open, and it was like a whole thing. I was getting stressed out, guys. I was getting stressed. So I gotta text my wife real quick. But can you guys let me know if like is my mouth moving well with the video? Is it synced up? Do I need to delay the audio at all or anything like that? Just you let me know, Apparently my keyboard's not working. It's a day. It's been a day, So, but yeah, running track and field in your house is tiring. It really most certainly is. And welcome only my opinion tech. What is up? I might have to go with the clicky keyboard today. I never thought I'd do it, but I might have to because this is not, my keyboard's not working. Oh, there we go. Okay. Were stairs involved? I'm going to say yes, but no. Yeah. But yeah, so let's see here. What's up, Enrique? Thomas Fezler. Welcome. Yeah, but okay, good. It looks good. It's even out. That's awesome. Okay. So today, a couple days ago, I got this little guy, the Zoom F3. I don't know if anyone is interested in that, but I'm going to talk about that briefly today. Thanks, babe. My phone kept on ringing off the hook, and my wife brought it to me. So, but yeah, you think maybe enter the whole world of, let's see. Aphex, what's up? How's it going? Something is ringing, and I can't figure out what it is. I got it. It was my iPad. So it's literally the iPad's only job is to just run the lights in the background, and that's it. It's an old iPad. I mean, I didn't buy a brand new iPad Pro to run the lights, but that's its main job. That's all it does. So let's see. I actually did want to do a little bit of a wireless cam today, but I don't know if it's actually hooked up or not. Oh, it is. Hey, what do you know? But that's the iPad I'm talking about right over there. That little guy. It's out of focus. Yep, there it is. That it just runs the lights and apparently interrupts when I'm trying to talk to you guys. So, but yeah, the F3 got it in, and it's a really simple, very simple product. Not in a bad way, but and I think that a part of me was thinking that maybe it'd be a little bit more capable like the F6, not in the sense that it has a bunch of connectors or anything, but more so in like the menus. Like this thing is 32-bit audio and like that's it. You cannot change it to 24, can't change it to 16, you can not do anything like that. But aside from that though, like it is really cool. If you are looking for something like this, I think it's a really good option. And actually one of the biggest reasons I personally wanted to buy it is I was debating getting the new like Tascam mixer that goes with either like Fujifilm, Nikon, or Canon cameras. And instead of that, I was like, you know what? I'd actually think I'd just rather mount this on a handle and have this with 32-bit audio, 2 XLR connections. Yeah, like to me that made a little bit more sense, especially since I do a lot of audio stuff. I was like, this seems like a better option. It doesn't have to be connected to my camera or anything like that. But yeah, so that's why I went with that. So if you guys have any questions about it or anything, I probably will go through and, check it out a little bit. But yeah, so let's see. Comments. Well, actually, before I get to comments, one thing I do want to mention is I think that there was a big miss, though. I think there was one big miss with the Zoom F3. So you got your 2 XLRs, like I was talking about, and, you got just some very simple buttons and everything. Your charger, your micro SD. You do have a 1/4-20 mount on the bottom, which is nice, which is honestly the selling point for me with like having that instead of the camera handle. So, I mean, the F6 does have that also, and I do love the F6 and everything it's capable of. But the biggest miss, in my opinion, is this does have a line out, but it doesn't have a line in. And I think that that's like, I'm having a hard time with that one. I think that it'd be really nice to be able to, plug in something like this, to the line in and not have to adapt it some way to XLR, because I find that you just run into issues when you're doing that. I think that it'd be amazing if they did the line in. So I was a little disappointed in that, and I honestly just expected it. I was like, it's going to have that, of course, and I should have probably looked into that. But I believe that this, let me double check. Let me double check how much this goes for. I believe it is $330. Let's see. $350. So this goes for $350. Actually, I'm going to try something here, guys. I'm going to try it. Oh my goodness. Do you guys see that? Magic. Okay. So yeah, goes for $350. And yeah, so you can get a good old B&H, an affiliate of mine, Just throwing in some just awkward affiliation. Speaking of affiliation, one thing that I did want to mention today also, aside from talking about the Zoom F3 for a minute, is actually, I do actually want to talk about this also here in a second. But I'm actually an affiliate of Ecamm Live now, and it's a Mac-based software. So if you guys are PC users and you do live streams and stuff, this doesn't really apply to you and everything. I wish it did. I wish that they had it for PC, because it's honestly an incredible software. Since I've started doing live streams, I've used it ever since. And I was like, you know what, since I'm using it anyway, let's just see if we can, work together. And I like it. I usually only back products that I like. But yeah, so if you guys are interested in checking out Ecamm Live, you do get like a 30-day free trial. You can click the affiliate link in the description that I'll post once this video is done. It's not there now, so I'll do it later. But yeah, so great product if you guys want to check it out. And Linux here. Linux, dude, I'm actually a fan of Linux, like for real. We used it I went to school for computer science stuff, and when I was there and I used Linux, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I actually think that it is one of my favorite OSs for sure. So D. Guider actually said when it came to the Zoom F3, he said, I know a guy who works at weddings. He told me about the Zoom F3. That's like a big, I think that like events and weddings and everything, that's like a big one for, for like the Zoom F3 and everything. But I think that with the no line in is a bit of a bummer even for those people, but I don't know. Sometimes my monitor just blacks out when I'm live streaming. It's cool. It's no problem. I actually love it. So it's my favorite. So by the way, the mic in your hands are a bit blurred. Yeah, no, I have like a super shallow depth of field going on here. I got like an f1.4. So that, I guess that makes sense, but let's see here. OBS does so much more. I've tried both. OBS is great. Like, especially when it comes to customization and everything. And that's actually what I used first for a while. And who was it that turned me on to Ecamm? I can't remember who it was. Someone was like, it's just like easy to use and everything, and it's just super user friendly. And I do agree with that. I think that OBS, that's kind of it's a little bit of a miss in that regard. Like, this Ecamm is just very intuitive. It just feels natural. It's like very easy to navigate and everything. Not that OBS is honestly bad in my opinion, but I do think that a lot of people that are like not necessarily computer or camera savvy or anything, like they're going to probably like Ecamm a little bit more. And Mac people, when it comes to user friendliness, they're going to pick that. So let's see. No, Joe K, I do think that it is like my hands are going to be blurred because it's focused on my face. And since this is like a shallow depth of field, if I bring my hands here, then, it's going to be in focus. And if I were to bring the mic even to my face, it's going to be in focus. It's just, it's just one of those things. I honestly probably could bump it down, but I usually shoot in really dark situations. So I just use the lens as wide as it can go pretty much. So that's why it looks like that though. I have never tried, I think Ecamm Live. So only my opinion tech. What's up, guy? How's it going? So yeah, Enrique Khan about Linux. It's a great OS, sure, but the choice of applications is kind of limited. That's very true. I think that is definitely, pardon the, repetitiveness, but it is the limitation with Linux is you're just not going to have, that compatibility for sure. Yep, a combo jack would have been better. I agree. Yeah, I think that the very least they could have done is made this a combo jack with it when it comes to the XLR, and had it be, this doesn't have it, but this does. Stuff is falling. So yeah, like this is the Tascam Portacapture X8, and yeah, you can plug in like your 1/4 inch jack or an XLR cable. Super handy. And that would have been one way that they could have just, I wouldn't have been mad. I'd been like, okay, yeah, like I can at least do, the 1/4 inch in. But in this case, you kind of just, your XLR, and that's about it, And that's the weird thing is actually, maybe they were trying not to, and this is an issue in the audio and camera world. I think that they were maybe trying not to cannibalize their F1 or F2. I think the F2 is like the 32-bit one. And maybe they're like, oh, people that want to use a lav mic or want to use microphones that have like a 3.5 millimeter cable, let's have them get that one because we don't want to, completely kill ourselves when it comes to, those products, and people will just get this instead. For a company to say stuff like that, I understand the mentality, but the thing is like, this is $350. And I mean, I think the F2, let me double check that. I think the F2 is actually substantially cheaper. So that's where I kind of have, yeah, it's $160. It's like you're not really cannibalizing sales. You're mostly just like being like, here's a more beefed up product for $200 more. I mean, like, I don't think that that's an issue whatsoever. Like, I think that a lot of people would be like, oh yeah, like if I want to get, either combo jacks and or a line in, like I'll spend the extra $200. And if I don't want to do that, opposite way. This, whatever. I can't do it. This thing, the Zoom F2, they'd get that, but what are you going to do? That's one thing, that is one issue that I have with Ecamm that I do want to just mention. Dude, you barely skim over the screen and you don't even click. Like sometimes it'll just like grab these little overlays and just make them kind of smaller. I don't know what the deal is with that. It might be something with me, but I actually had that at the very beginning of the stream. And I like accidentally made the stream quite a bit smaller and everything. It was weird, but that's one little fault that I've noticed with Ecamm. Otherwise, super good. Oh, we got a super chat. Oh, thank you. Much appreciated. Let's see here. Let's see. Thomas Fezler, super chat for $5. Thank you very much. That's super kind. Adding some money to the audio fund. It's, it's much appreciated. It is definitely appreciated. You gotta get some more products in here to test out and everything. I love it. Thank you so much. He also did say Ecamm guest costs are super, I'm having prohibitive if you have people on regularly and stream a lot. That is true. And that is one thing that I did notice when I hosted the Obscure Mics live stream with myself and him. I'm struggling here because I do feel like this microphone, and I knew it was, but man, it is a bright microphone. Like it's man, woo. Anyway, I do completely agree. There's like a countdown timer of how many hours I can have guests on. That's a little odd. It's a little odd. And that's one thing, like, I'm definitely not one of those people that if I get sent a product by a company, I'm not just going to be like, hey, I'm going to kiss your ass so I can keep you coming back for more. No, dude, like I've burnt bridges and burnt relationships with companies just to tell you guys what I think is true and how I feel about a product. So even though I'm like affiliated with Ecamm, dude, it's not perfect. I agree with that. There are some things about it that I just mentioned, the little overlay thing, weird. Like it's a weird problem. And that is another thing that I do feel like is kind of bizarre is like, I think that if I have the premium subscription, let me have as many guests as I want for however long. Like, give me a break on that. You know what I mean? But, let's see here. Ping Pong said, that's how I'd shoot. I don't want to stop down and blind myself. I just get a less shallow focal plane. Yeah. That's very true. I have an issue with like these lights don't in particular create a ton of heat, but that is where I've run into an issue where I don't know if it's maybe mental, but if I have the lights like super bright, I'm like, dude, I feel like it's so hot in here. I don't know. They probably are bringing out a certain amount of heat, but I do agree with you in the sense that I like keeping the light low and I like getting lenses that can compensate for that. So much agreed. Ping Pong, much agreed. Let's see. Streaming with PC gives you a lot more control of actual camera settings than my Mac. With my Mac, I have to rely on filters and OBS. Yeah, definitely see your point of view for sure. Definitely agree with that. And that is one thing that does kind of is a limitation about Mac is like one thing that I definitely feel like M1s are amazing when it comes to streaming. They're just like a powerhouse. Like I never have any issues when it comes, well, maybe you guys can tell me, but like when it comes to, keeping up and everything and like rendering, like everything, I think it is really great at that, but you do lose some some customability. You can't customize it as well. But yeah. So I do agree with you. Only my opinion tech. Well, in that sense, it was also my opinion, only my opinion tech. So I'm just joking. I'm just giving you a hard time. DeGuider, let's see. Have you heard of Prodype? It's a French audio company. Their products are very common here. No. Let me look. Let's do a quick searchy search. Is there any DeGuider? Is there anything that you've tried from them that you really like or not like, or anything that you feel like is worth mentioning from Prodype? Prodype? Prodypers? Prodype. Let's see. Prodype microphones. Should I put the overlay on even though it might do that stupid thing again? Let's see here. Okay. So yeah, it seems like right here they have like a $50. Let's see. Oh, am I going to get in trouble if I have an Amazon thing? Probably. Prodype Pro TT1 dynamic microphone. Interesting. Oh, you guys can see my cart. Don't judge me, okay? I don't need it. I don't need it today, guys. I'm just joking. It's just a little monitor mount. I don't think I'm going to get it, though. It just doesn't look like it's going to work for me. But no, I'm interested, though. Do you like their products? Have you tried it or anything? Let's see here. Let me get rid of this. Go to the next comment here. Pronounce Thomas like mess. Fessler. Got it. I'm on it. Got it. Thank you. Yeah, so I got it now, for sure. I'm going to definitely remember that. Ramadan, I think his name is Ramadan. He's a guy that usually hangs out on the streams and everything, and he's a cool guy. I think he's from Russia or something, maybe. No, I don't know. I can't remember. Got my throat coat tea here, like I did last time. It helped me out, But sad situation. I'm just gonna do a real quick vent here. So, last time I had my mug that said Catitude on it, and it was like a little kitty with its butt out, like super sassy, right? I love that mug. I love it so much. And yesterday I was doing the dishes, and we have like dishwashing gloves, and it was a little slippery. And I dropped it. And it broke. And I'm not usually sentimental about stuff, guys, but that one got me. So anyway, this is my other cat related mug. All I want to do is pet cats and listen to metal. And it's pretty accurate a majority of the time. Even though I wouldn't consider myself like a metalhead or anything, but I'd say I listen to more hardcore music, but it's fine. Let's see here. What do we got? I'm not sure if my only my opinion tech is talking about the RE27. I'm assuming he's talking about the Prodype microphone. But yeah. D-Guider said, I feel you. I'm super bad with names. Dude, it's like my whole life, it's been a problem. I will meet someone and like them a lot and just forget their name immediately. Like there is a neighbor that we have that I literally say her name wrong all of the time, and we've hung out like 20 times. More, probably more than 20 times. It's a disappointment issue that I have with myself. I'm working on it, I'm seeing a therapist about it, just trying to accept my faults. Just be like, you know what, I'm bad at names, and that's it. That's all. That's it, But yeah. So what else were we going to talk about? I can't even remember. Oh, sorry about the mug, Enrique Khan said. I know, dude. I'm bummed. I'm trying to get over it, but what can you do? Stuff just, my mom, when I was younger, would like make the biggest deal out of everything that like broke. She was like, she's like the most sentimental person when it comes to stuff like that. So like, I think I get a little bit of that from her. Like it cuts deep, but she tried to get better about it. And like, I've definitely tried to get better about it as well. But sometimes, it cuts deep. Am I saying that I cried? I'm not saying that for sure, but did I feel like maybe crying? Probably, probably. So, D-Gutter said I forgot my cousin's name. I swear, dude, that's awesome. And quite honestly, like on my dad's side of the family, he's got like a pretty big family. I could not tell you 70% of their names, probably 60, 65. I'm sorry if you're watching, Dad. He sometimes watches, but it's true. Okay. He'll be like, oh, so this person like, oh, something. And he'll be like, he did this. And I'm like, oh, who's that? And he's like, your cousin. I'm like, oh, cool. Oh, awesome. So I got this nice throat coat tee that was recommended by Booth Junkie. So good. Oh, dude, tell me what brand it is. I think I just get the pretty common one that's like, you can get it at like Target and Walmart and pretty much everything. It has like a little flower on it, red and yellow. It's good though. It's good. It's still good. I'm kind of like I'm a big honey fan. My wife does not like honey, but I keep it around for me, and it's nice that she just doesn't touch it because I'd prefer it that way, quite honestly. So that's great. But yeah, let me know what brand it is. I'd love to know. So Zerafail. Dude, you'll have to tell me if I'm saying it wrong, but my Zoom F6 records at very low levels. Tried 32-bit, 24-bit, 16-bit, mono stereo. Couldn't fix it. I used the 1.7 software. Any thoughts? Actually, yes. I do have some thoughts about this. And if you want to reach out to me on at audiohotline@gmail.com or, yeah, just do that one. I might be able to send you a couple settings that I changed that helped that a lot, but dude, they're like buried. And that's one thing about the Zoom F6 is it does give you a lot of options, but sometimes it can be a problem because it gives you too many options and too many like sub menus and like it can be a little bit hard. But yeah, so I can definitely send you those settings, and I'm pretty sure that if you go in, I'm thinking that if you go into like your output settings or something like that, you can kind of follow like the certain levels. You actually have to, when I very first got it, I had to like turn it up substantially to be able to get a level that I actually liked, which is funny because like it wasn't like it wasn't super high or anything. They just had it set super low in the software. It was very bizarre. So yeah. Something happened, guys. I don't know what happened, but and girls, possibly. Actually, the only girl that's probably watching this is my wife, honestly. Dude, I'm going to just say my viewership, 96% males. And I'm not exaggerating about that. It might even be 97 now. No joke. So I think it's safe for me to say guys. Honestly, it's fine, I think. I'm not going to, though. But, yeah, only my opinion tech. Yep, the ProDipe just ordered the SEV7X this morning, but maybe I should grab a ProDipe. I've heard some, like, mixed stuff about the SEV7X. I love the V7. I think it's a great microphone. I think it's fantastic. I think a lot of people could get it, and they'd probably like it as much as I do. I think that it's pretty universally loved, and honestly, like, I would take this over a 58 any day, honestly. So, yeah. I mean, when it comes to vocals specifically, I think the SE V7 is fantastic. When it comes to the X, I'm not sure. I can't remember precisely what people were saying about that they didn't like. And I don't think it was so much that they didn't like it. Maybe it was the fact that they half expected it to be like nearly identical to the V7 and it wasn't. And if that's the thing, then whatever. But maybe that's something that I should do. Maybe I should grab an X and try it against the V7, see what's up. But Red Cabin Acoustic, what's up, my guy? Welcome. Well, actually, I think I did see you come in a little while ago. And I meant to say hi, and I feel bad. I'm so sorry that I didn't say hi before. But what's up, guy? He says I cry all the time. It's okay. You know, I think that even though my viewership is 96% males, and that guys aren't supposed to cry, I think that we should just, throw that out there. Like, I think the audio world and like the musician world is a little bit more sensitive, and that's good. We should just own it. I can cry about a mug, and that sounded like a face. I can cry about a coffee mug, and it's fine. You know what? Just own that shit. I agree, Red Cabin Acoustic. He changed his name to Rama something. I love it. Oh, man. His name was, earlier. I'm going to just switch it. He changed it. It's this. Dude, I love that you went and changed it. That's so freaking sweet. Oh my gosh. I love that's it. That's perfect. But he says that he also forgets names too. LOL. Is it Ramadan though? Is that right? I think that I'm remembering that correctly. But definitely do email me Zerafael. I don't know. I'm sorry. But let's see. It's the traditional medicinal. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. Medicinal's throat coat. Let's see here. That is the one I get, dude. It is good. It's very good. And it's definitely something that I'm not sick of it at all. Like, it's still really good. But it was just more like if you did try something different, I'd be interested in also trying it because I've used this for a long time. But yeah, that's the one I use and everything. I love it. Love it. Oh, actually though, I do occasionally get it with the lemon echinacea, and it's not that I prefer the taste with that, but I love echinacea tea also. So yeah, that's a good one. If you guys haven't tried the lemon echinacea version of that one, it's solid, especially if you're not feeling well and like your throat hurts a little bit. Definitely try the echinacea because I think it promotes your immune system or something like that. Helps build, words. So Enrique Khan said, laughing my ass off, I'm 75% female. No way, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, like, no, seriously, I wish that I could pull up the statistics easily right now because I totally would. It's like, no, at least above 95, though. At least above 95% male. And you know what? I wish that there would be more women that would join that, join the audio world. I think it'd be great. Like, yeah, anyway, but I think it'd be great. D Guider, any SE mic is amazing. They're solid company. I definitely plan on trying out the Dynacaster soonish. Yeah, I'm interested in that. I think that Obscure Mike's Jeremy or Bark, whatever you call him, is I think he has his right now, and he used it on a live stream, and he was talking to me about it a little bit. I'm not going to spoil what he told me in case he's going to review it soon, but let me just say I wasn't like ultra excited to get it anymore. He kind of dropped my hopes a little bit. He didn't say it was bad though. He did not say it was bad. Damn it. I just spoiled a little bit of it. Sorry, Bark. I'll make it up to you tonight when we go to bed. Okay, I'll make it up to you. And let's see. But yeah, dude, SE mics. Why do I keep clicking? I'm so sorry. I know that people don't like mouth noises. I think it's because I ate this like bar before and it was kind of peanut buttery. And it's it's sitting in there and I'm not loving it. Maybe a little more throat coat would stop me from doing that. Let's see. Anton Brown did a pretty comprehensive comparison of the V7 V7X over like 4 videos. Really? I am going to sound like an asshole right now, but Anton Brown, let's see, SEV7, definitely out. Is it? Am I reading this wrong? Why is it? It's not showing up for whatever reason. Let's see, but definitely go try that out, or definitely go go watch his channel, watch him try that out. Yeah, I'd be interested to watch that. I'm gonna add it right now. Oh, yep, there we go. Anton Brown with an E at the end. For some reason, I thought you were going to talk about Antonio Brown. There's some drama happening there right now. I don't know if you guys watch football, but there's always drama surrounding that guy. I feel like a total douche, but I've actually never watched his channel. I'm gonna watch his channel. Yeah, cool. Ramazan or Ramadan is the same. Okay, so Ramazan. Okay, cool. Z, need to remember that. Let's see here. I can get the windscreen for the V7 for $20, and it's a direct replacement and rejects plosives better. Oh, really? Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, maybe, dude, if you want, like, if you're down, if someone's interested, leave a link in, like, the comments or something that people can go and jump over to that and get one. But yeah. So Red Cabin Acoustic agrees with this guy. He says that he is way too nostalgic. The SEO, like, he's way too nostalgic. That's a separate thing about like things like I was talking about the mug and everything. The SE mics are neodymium and dominium. See, I can't pronounce words. I think it's the biggest issue. Like the 27ND, more like the Beta 57, Beta 58, and OG versions. Okay. That's interesting. I actually, just to play off of that, dude, I've had a Beta 58 for such a long time, but I've actually really wanted to do a review for it. But that's one thing that I get a little bit, I have a little bit of an issue in the sense that I'm like, I have like a microphone that a lot of people have reviewed and tested out and everything. And it makes me kind of not want to because it's already been done so much. But I will say, and no offense to anyone that does this, like, I'm not the biggest fan of when someone that's reviewing something says, hey, like, I'm not going to go over this because this guy did it. So watch him if you want to see that. And it's no offense to that person. Like, I understand doing that. But at the same time, like, a big part of why I review stuff is so that I can try it out. It's not necessarily, since it's already been done, that I feel like I don't need to do it. I'm like, hey, here's my take, and I'm going to do the test even if someone else has done it. Like, I'm going to do it because I want to do it. And if you guys, like, don't want to necessarily see that same test, that's why I put timestamps in now and everything. But, like, it's one of those things that I'm not the biggest fan of when people do that. But at the same time, I'm kind of like hating on the fact that, or like agreeing with the fact that people do that by not reviewing microphones that have been reviewed a lot. So I just need to like swallow my pride and just like review it even though it's been reviewed a lot. So it's kind of contradictive, I guess is what I'm saying. So I definitely do plan to review the Beta 58, and it's kind of one of those things where I've also just been trying to, maybe do a comparison, like a big comparison of like Shure microphones or something, and kind of talk about what they're all good at and what some people might want to use certain ones for. But I have a ridiculous amount of Shure microphones, and yeah, so I need to do something. Anyway, rant over. Red Cabin Acoustic always mentioning stuff that gets me on a rant. It happens. But ladies ladies are more like, I bought this. It's good enough. I'm done. And that's one thing that he also said was guys care about, or more about gear, I think. I think that's somewhat, I do think that's true. I mean, I think there are, of course, outliers, but I think they're like very few and far between. And it'd be cool, like, if there were more, like, really audio-focused females. But dude, like, I've been running this channel for however long I've done it. Like, if I get a comment from a female, it's, like, shocking. It's, like, very surprising. And I'm like, huh, okay. Like, and I think it's really cool and everything. And, like, I just wish that it'd be cool if there were more of them that loved audio as much as a lot of guys do. And the only reason I can say that is because I've seen the statistics behind my channel. But, and it's not even like how many people subscribe to the audio hotline that are male or female. And like, and I honestly, like, no offense to anyone if I'm saying male and female, I understand that a lot of people don't feel like those are the only two. And, like, I'm definitely not saying that those are the only two. If you feel differently, that's fine. But, yeah, no, like, the statistics definitely are, like, view-wise, this many males watch your channel. Like, and that's the interesting thing. I guess, like, I could understand if I was just, like, only guys subscribe to my channel for whatever reason. But no, dude, it's just, like, simply views, which is very interesting. So, Anton Brown has an amazing voice. Now I want to watch the video even more. I'm going to definitely check it out. So, let's see here. Ramazan says that he totally agrees with Enrique about the male and female thing, for sure. So, Thomas Fessler, like Fessler, says, what about Zoom's new camera with XLR? It has HDMI out. It could be used for streaming. Blue is just rubbing all over my legs right now. He wants to say what's up. Don't step on the keyboard, though, okay? We don't want to end this stream early by accidents, okay? So, how do I feel about that? Honestly, like, I did watch a couple, like, reviews and stuff about that camera, and to me, it just looked it looked webcam-y. It didn't look very good, and, it's the reason that I use more photo-based cameras for my video. And it's kind of the thing that we talked about earlier with, like, the depth of field and everything. Like, I think that looks a little bit better, like how the background is more separated from me. I like that a bit more than if I was like this. Just think that's a little bit more distracting than when it's separated like this. I think it looks a little bit better. It's just personal opinion. Some people feel differently about it. And so that Zoom camera, just like, it's very just like, here's everything in perfect detail because it has such a small sensor and not like a fast lens on it or anything. So I personally wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, like, in my opinion. This is becoming a thing, guys. Oh, he's purring. Kitty purr test? Yeah, I didn't cuddle him long enough. He's not going to leave me alone. Yep, he's sticking around. Anyway, But yeah, personally, that thing is not for me. I did, however, debate getting it just to try it out, just for like the hell of it. But I don't think that, because of my personal preference in the way that certain things look and how I prefer a little bit more of like a separation from the background and everything. Like I don't think I could really recommend that microphone to, or that I'm so used to saying microphone, I can't even help myself. I don't think that I would necessarily recommend that camera to a lot of people. I'd probably just be like, go with something like the Zoom, or not Zoom, the Sony ZV-1, because you can at least, get a little bit of separation and everything. But that's the problem though, is like, you pay a lot more for stuff like that. And like for a camera like this, you're going to pay a lot more. So, I mean, for a budget option for someone who just like wants to start live streaming and they're like, I just, and honestly, I do think this is a good point, in the sense that people should get something that they can just start with and just get going and everything. And then, maybe find an upgrade path later on. I think that's solid. I think that people should do that. So maybe for some beginners, that camera would be solid, in the sense that you would get good audio out of it. I'm sure of that. But the image quality is kind of subpar, in my opinion. I just can't help myself. But I'd actually say a lot of phones look better than that camera. I believe that thing goes for like $350. I can't remember, but it's actually, I think it's the second version of that camera. It does seem like they made some enhancements and everything, but I wouldn't touch it. But Anton Brown has an amazing voice. I mentioned that, but he said like Mike from Booth Junkie. Dude, Booth Junkie's got a solid voice, that's for sure. And I definitely want to check out Anton Brown's stuff now. Let's see. Neodymium is pronounced freaking strong. I love it. That's awesome. Enrique Khan, I think that mic reviews that are super exposed a lot are more valuable. But if you have a mic that's reviewed a lot and want to talk about it, that it's a contribution, especially if you have something to say. Yeah, like I think you're right. Like it still is a contribution, in the sense that like, if I have experience with that microphone, especially like, and I've used it in certain ways, and I can vouch for the fact that it can be used well in certain areas, or honestly, like, I don't know, maybe you guys are like this too, and I know I'm a little bit this way, but if I search something on YouTube and, it's like 6 years old, 5 years old, I'm more likely to actually find a newer video. And I think it might just be like the video quality snob in me a little bit, but I'm much more likely to actually seek out a newer video. I don't know if you guys are that way, but I am that way. And so that's one thing that I have also tried to, kind of contemplate a little bit, is being like, like I know that these microphones have been reviewed a lot, but I could at least be the newest review for it for a while. You know what I mean? And I'm honestly not saying that every review I do, I think that it's going to like pop off or something. Like that's not it. This is very niche content, the audio hotline makes, and that a lot of people like this make. And, it's kind of more of it's like a slow burn. It's a slow burn channel. Like you might get some followers and stuff over time, but you're not going to pop off like, I don't have an example because I don't watch content like that. I don't watch super mainstream content. Not saying it's bad if you do, but like I tend to watch more specific niche content. So yeah, Enrique, I do agree with you. Like I think that it is a thing that I do psych myself out a little bit, and I'm just like, since it's been done, like I don't want to just like beat a dead horse. But no, I think that it's I think it's a good idea. But that should do it. I meant reviews of mics that aren't reviewed by everyone and their dog. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, no, I get you. Sorry, I had to reread your last comment real quick. I gotcha. But yeah. Thomas Fessler, it's like a thing. I have to say it in my mind now. He says you do have a unique plosive test phrase. Yeah, I mean Peanuts is. See, but that's the thing that I was saying. Like, it does come down just to even views are like the 95%. So I mean, like, it's literally the fact that 95+% of people that click on a video of mine are male. But would I be interested to see how many females check out at that point? Yeah, I would. I'd love to see that. D-Guider with the, yeah, dude, per test. It's the only test that matters. Only test that matters. Oh. Neodymium? Neodymium. Dude, see, this is the thing. This is, like, I get shit for the Behringer thing. Like, instead of Behringer. I struggle with pronunciation, but actually, if I remember to do it, I'm going to link the video where literally Behringer employees are saying it Behringer and not Behringer. I'm going to do it. I'm going to post it in the description. Yeah. I'm going to do it. Enrique Khan said, getting a drink, don't say anything interesting. Oh, man. Thomas Fessler says, I use a Sony HDR AX100 specifically for the lens and sensor. Plus, I can run at 4K for days without overheating. Dude, that's a nice thing about... Well, let me actually... I'm curious now. Let's see here. Sony... I've got a Sony... I've got two Sony cameras, actually. HDR AX100. I'm assuming this is like a more camcorder-y... Yeah. Handy cam. But yeah, that's the nice thing about cameras like this, is they do run for days. Like, oh, I figured it out, guys. I figured it's my mouse. So if I scroll up and down like this, and I'm accidentally over the window, it goes bigger. I get it. It's my fault. I knew it was going to be user error. I knew it. But anyway, yeah, that's the nice thing about those for sure, is like they're just so reliable. So reliable. And I've debated getting them for sure, and like I use cameras more like the try not to hit the microphone. More like the Sony A7 IV. Whoa. And and it does just come down to I like the depth of field and the quality that I can get. I'm not going to say the trigger word that a lot of people say, the C word, but it does look a little bit more, not necessarily professional, because I think that a lot of stuff that looks very professional can be done on, like a more video camera, but it does just come down to like a preference thing for me, but I just accidentally got a pretty shot of the RE27, pretty sweet stuff. So yeah, but what do you guys, I'm actually curious, what do you guys think what do you think about the sound of this? I do think it is a little bright. It does, however, have a little switch on it, and I would gladly trigger that switch. Let's see how it sounds. It has a little bit of like a high roll-off, a high frequency roll-off, or a low pass filter. Can't do it. That was embarrassing. Do we like that more? Definitely darker. Definitely substantially darker. How do we feel? I do like the... yeah, ping pong. He said the trigger word. He said it! It wasn't me, dude. But yeah, cinematic is the trigger word for sure. Yeah, I do hate it. Well, like low-key hate it when people say that. Because I think it's a little, I don't know, overused, a little cheesy. A bit bright to my ears. Yeah, no, I agree. That it did it in these headphones especially, because like I do feel like these Sony's what are these again? Yeah, the MDR 7506s, they do tend to run a bit brighter, and so like you can kind of hear a little bit more harshness articulated in them and everything. So I do think that these are probably the worst headphones to wear with these, because they are not the most natural sounding headphones. But they're good in this. They are good in the sense that if I was like EQing this microphone, I'd be able to pick out some of the harshness a little bit. But yeah, so more soothing with the dark tone. Okay, de-guider. Well, I will leave that on, good sir. Yeah, so I do tend to prefer this a little bit too. It sounds a little bit more like the RE20 a little bit when it's in this mode, and it seems maybe a little darker than the RE20 in this mode though. But yeah, but let's see here. There was there was one thing I was going to talk about, and it's this. The other day I got these little headphones, and I'm actually, let me get this out of the way. I actually do like them, and a big part of me was thinking that I wasn't going to like them more than my Beyer Dynamic 770s. And, it's too soon to say whether I do or not, but I do like them. I think they're good. I know that, like, when it comes to specs and, like, some of, like, the size-specific things when it comes to these, like, these headphones, not the most impressive spec-wise, but I actually do think they do a good job. Like, partially when I saw some of the first, like, reviews come out, I was like, yeah, this person might be full of shit. Like, I don't know. But no, like, I actually do like them. So, they're solid. But that's one thing I do think is that, especially for me, is that I do have to get used to headphones a little bit more. And it takes some time to adjust and everything. And that's, I don't know, that's another hard thing, is I do like trying out different headphones and everything. And I find myself, like, with my actual, like, studio monitors, making critical decisions with those versus headphones, because I have used them for a lot longer, but also I do just trust them a little bit more. When it comes to headphones, I feel like I don't trust myself as much because I do switch between them, but I don't know if that's a common thing that you guys all see or anything. But yeah, so let's see. Talking about the RE27, I think you need a pretty special voice to make it work for you. I think that's probably very true. Yeah, I agree with that. What did I? Yeah, de-guider. Yeah, Enrique Khan, if you don't like camera talk, dude, you didn't miss much. You did not miss much. So, oh, my guy, Mark Bennett, Camera Crisis. Love this guy. He's, I say it every time. Every time he comes in, if you guys like, especially Sony cameras or lighting stuff and or some audio stuff too, check him out. But he said that he just joined, saw F3 in the title. They're supposed to send him one. Nice. Dude, tell me how to review it. So, dude, at the beginning, basically, I was saying, like, if you just want to mention this, I'm just joking. No, you'll do a great job, man. His audio reviews are good. No, I just felt like the line in was a bit of a miss. I like the fact that they didn't have the line in and they only have a line out is a bit of a miss, and the fact that there's no combo jack and the fact that it's just XLR, no quarter jack, like I thought was kind of dumb. So, bit of a miss there. There's definitely not a ton of features. Like, maybe there's something they can do in firmware where they can make it so you can change your like audio to 24-bit rather than only being at 32-bit float. If that was the case and they can change that in firmware, like I'd be stoked because like, yeah, 32-bit, a lot of people are like, wow, why switch? But honestly, like I just kind of want to make the choices. And so them having 24-bit in here, I think would be great. And I don't know, like me making the choices in 24-bit and me worrying about the clipping and me worrying about where the level's hitting, I do tend to prefer that. However, in some situations, I will be like, 32-bit flow is it? Because guess what? This is an unpredictable situation. So that's all I talked about really with the F3, not a whole health a lot. So, yeah. Let's see here. I think J Raz from Podcastage Discord is the only voice I've really liked it on. Oh, I can't say that I've heard him specifically. Yeah. But I don't know. Now that you guys are saying that I don't have a good voice for it, I kind of want to switch it. I'm just joking. But I do usually switch microphones in live streams. What do you guys want me to switch it to? Any suggestions? I got the RE20 right here. I got the Procaster. I've got the Broadcaster that I could switch it to. Some Telefunken mics, the SEV7. We got what else we got? I could change it to like a shotgun microphone, like the 416 from Sennheiser. I could go to the SM7B. I could go to the Pod mic. I could go to the PD70. I could switch it up, go to a condenser microphone, the NT1, NT1A. Skylight. We got the Q9U. This is a problem, dude. I unpredictably yell, so the F3 might work. Dude, honestly, I do... When I'm usually, like, hitting -12 to -18, usually -18 on my, like, level, and I accidentally do yell, it's usually enough that it's not a problem for me. But, dude, not having to worry about it is nice, because I do, especially on live streams, I do tend to get a little bit loud on accident and stuff. But yeah, not the Pod mic. LOL. Yeah, dude, the RE20 is a good choice, man. King B V7, something weird. Let's get freaky. Okay, I like it. The Bayer Dynamic M201TJ. I don't have that, man. Damn. Let's see. Well, let's switch to let's go SM7B first, and then we'll maybe switch to the RE20 after that. So I will... How can I do this? How must I do this? Let me see if I switch the audio to this little Ceremonic mic real quick while I switch it on the actual mic stand. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see if that works. Where's my mouse? Where's my cursor? Here we go. Okay. Let's see. Check. Oh, that's loud. Can you guys hear that? Oh, that's still loud. Can you guys hear that? Jeez, that was loud. Okay, so here we go. But,
Yeah, I'm just doing do a quick switch. Dude, one of the things that I was thinking about talking about in a video and or this live stream is some of the accessories that I really love when it comes to like kind of underrated stuff. One of the things that I just can't live without is like a quick release like this. Being able to just undo that is so nice compared to just having to turn the microphone crudely around. I hate that. So, let's see. Oh no! I recently switched all my stand adapters to this thing under my desk. I thought I was gonna have to walk over there, but perfect timing. Switched them all. Good to go. Let's see. Do you sell those shirts? I do sell these shirts. I totally forgot, dude. Yeah, I went with my 80s vibe audio hotline shirt today. I do sell them on Teespring. I can't remember if they're. I'm pretty sure I put them in my description, but I'll try to put a link down below. That's one issue with this quick release that I actually don't love when it comes to the Gator frameworks. There's actually a quick release that I prefer a little bit more. This one does tend to just, you have to like be sure to push it up a bit more. But yeah. So, but yeah, Mark Bennett asked if I sell these shirts. But yes, I most certainly do. And these are like comfy. They're so comfortable, these shirts specifically. I'm pretty sure they come in some different colors and everything, but dude, I'm having some issues. The thing that I use right here kind of prevents me from, I have to maneuver this little head around to be able to get this microphone in the right spot since the connection is right there. But now we should be good. Now I'll switch it over. Let's see. I might have to switch a couple things over in my console for universal audio. Let's see. But all right. Does that sound better? Does that sound better than what we had before? I'm sure that the audio wasn't fantastic on that other microphone compared to these. I'm gonna go up though. I'm gonna go up. Does that sound better? We feeling it? We like it? I think everyone in my house heard that. Dude, when I switched over to this, holy hell, I watched the meter and I was like, my bad, y'all. Shoot, Yeah, sometimes you don't know. I should have opened the ATEM situation. The audio hotline. Yeah, ping pong. You are not wrong about that. So, let's see here. I think the only thing that I have going on when it comes to my Universal Audio console is, let's see. I guess I could let you see it. Why not? But right here, yeah, I've just got the Neve little 1073 on it, the 1176, and then I just an LA2A. But when it comes to this, I'm not doing a whole heck of a lot, but I do have the tone a little bit darker. And that's the thing, like with that RE27, I was board. I've got a board packet to post. Don't worry about that, guys. It's my job. It's my 9 to 5. Don't worry about that. But yeah, one thing that I did with the RE27, I should have mentioned that earlier, is like it was bright, even though on this 1073 I was technically darkening it up a little bit, which is kind of crazy. So the fact that it was as bright as it was a little bit crazy. A little bit crazy. All right? Does everyone else hear maybe a little hotter? Are we good now? There we go. Okay, good. I can bump this up even a little bit more. I know that the You know how the SM7B be, you know. It runs a little cold. Runs a little cold, ceased. Check, check. Do we feel better about that? Do we like that? All right. Let me kill this. But let's see. Better? We feeling it? We liking it? SM7B. That's the one thing, SM7B, I mean, like, I feel like a lot of microphones you can switch in between a lot, and it's like no problem. You could leave it at the same gain a lot of the time. But SM7B, you got to change a couple things around. You got to change it, you know. So, oh, Mark Bennett, Camera Crisis. He says, I'm getting a shirt. What's a good size for thin shoulders and moderate beer cut? Dude, yeah, like he drinks apple juice on his channel. He drinks some apple juices. It's fine. No judgment here. But yeah, no, I would say size up if you're like when it comes to sizing, when it comes to these shirts, I size up one because this particular thing, I think that it's I can't remember what brand it is, but they do shrink a little bit. So going one size up, I'm usually a little bit happier with it than if I go with my medium. Usually I'll hit the large and I'll be happy with it. So yes, but SM7B is much better for you. I do agree. I think that this microphone suits me a bit more than like the RE27. And that's the thing, like I don't think the RE27 is like a bad microphone, but it's just not. It's not for my voice. And I do think that it tends to be a little bit more niche in the sense that it's probably going to work on less people's voices compared to most, you know. So yeah, but that was another thing. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. Why not? We got a little bit of time. Let's be honest. I do not have a timer on this, except for the fact that I think I've been on for like an hour and 12 minutes. But yeah, let's talk about a couple things in the studio that I absolutely love, cannot live without, that I feel like don't get mentioned enough. And the first thing that I did mention, and the audio was probably not great with the Ceramonic mic that I had not leveled out. It was just kind of like a just in case shit hits the fan microphone. So I'll repeat myself a little bit. But the Gator Frameworks quick release microphone thing, it's great. I do love having a quick release. There's one from, I believe, Planet Waves that I actually like quite a bit more, and it's actually quite a bit cheaper than this one. I did a video a long time ago about the on-stage quick release. I think they're only like $11. If you don't have a quick release and you don't want to spend much money, start out with that one. That one's fantastic. I still think it's really good, and it's really solid. It does have like a little bit of give if you were to like move the microphone or something wiggles or anything like that. But I do really like that quick release. I think it's fine still. But there's the Planet Waves one. I think it's Planet Waves. I wish that I had it right here. But yeah, like I think that one's absolutely fantastic. I think it's a great one. But quick release in general, fantastic to have, especially if you switch between microphones. If you don't switch between microphones or switch between things on your microphone stand or boom arm, it's not really worth it. But I mean, for me, it's like, oh, it's the best. Like just being able to pull that off, go put it on whatever, just by, you know, it's not a sexual thing. It's fine. But yeah, just being able to do that is absolutely the best. So I would say that's one of my favorite things for sure. And the next thing I think that absolutely everyone needs is the thing that's on here next. And it allows your microphone to basically be in any position that you want. And it's kind of a weird thing. Wait, now I see a chat thing and I want to read it. Hold on. Yeah, Enrique Khan is saying we call that a dad bod. Thin shoulders, beer gut, I think is what he said specifically. Yes, yes. And but yeah, that's fun times, fun times. But Terry Shaw said I got the Gator Frameworks QR, the quick release, to add weight to my SEV7 as it was light on the blue compass. That's actually a good point. Is if you have a boom arm, especially the blue compass, dude, I feel like that thing you needed to weigh down quite a bit. I It's a good stand. It looks really good. It looks really good on camera and everything. But I don't know, man. It definitely needs a little bit more weight. And that's actually, interestingly enough, one of the things that I'm going to mention in a second is adding weight to stuff. But the thing that I'm speaking specifically of is actually, I think they technically, wow, let me see if I, this one's a Ulanzi. It's essentially it's like a camera, like, what is it called? Like a camera head thing. Let's see here. But it basically allows you to, it's like a ball head. But it pretty much just allows you to be able to undo this right here. I've got a comment in the way. But you just have this little knobby knob right there. You just can release that and you can move this wherever you want. I can, even bring it up here. It's just, it's such a nice thing to have around to be able to maneuver the microphone wherever you want. And that's one thing that I do with a lot of condenser microphones that I try out, is it has a little notch right here that you can put, right there. You can put the ball head up like that. So I'll actually have the condenser microphone up in this position, and then it's kind of off to the side, and then it's like perfectly balanced. It's amazing. So getting one of these ball heads, dude, with the quick release and the ball head combination, if you were to get that for your SEV7, dude, I think that you would love it, and it would weigh down that blue compass even more. So that's another one that I absolutely cannot live without. Now, the next thing that I think is even more crucial than a lot of stuff, and it's a very simple thing, is essentially sandbags, right? So people use these to weigh down light stands and everything like that so they don't tip over on you. And right now I've got a couple lights up here that they do have a just assload of sandbags on them. So I know a lot of people might be freaked out by this, but I've never had an issue with it ever. The ones that I have, you actually just put water in. Like, you don't have to worry about figuring out how you're going to get sand and if sand's going to get absolutely everywhere. And a lot of people are like, well, we're working with electronics, so actually the water's a worse idea. Like, I understand that, but I've tried them out vigorously, dude. Like, I put these things through a lot. They never spill. I never have an issue. Now something is going to happen. Something bad's going to happen now in the next week. Guaranteed. I just screwed myself, guys. So, cool. But no, seriously though, I've never had an issue with it. Let me see. Actually, I can show you which brand I get. Maybe. Let me see. I believe it said that's AB Canopy or something like that. Yeah, dude, if you get the like water bags, like, so right now I have it, well, not only on these light stands, but even more importantly, in my opinion, I have it on my mic stand. And I'm actually able to extend this Hercules mic stand arm out substantially more than I'd be able to without it wanting to tip over, because I'm compensating for that weight with that sand water bag. So, dude, yeah, definitely give those a try if you have not, because they are absolutely worth it. So, let's check out the comments on a couple things that I mentioned. Let's see here. I have the on-stage quick release holding up my RE20 in the massive shock mount. Works great. Dude, yeah, like they're not expensive. Like, for how inexpensive they are, now I kind of want to check because, dude, you know how things are kind of going up in price recently? Just joking. That's not happened at all. Let's see what price they are right now. Oh, they're like $15, so they have gone up. Those assholes. But so yeah, let's see. I'll share this screen. Right here. Yeah, this is going for like 15 yeah, $14.95 in Americas. So that could be different in Canada there, Mark. All right, I think that's $4,000 in Canadian money. I think you could correct me if I'm wrong on that one, Mark. But yeah, so let's see. Terry Shaw. I love the look and feel of it, but yeah, loosened up all the way to get a handheld to work with it. I added shock mount and quick release, and it works perfectly. He's talking about the Blue Compass. Dude, yeah, I absolutely agree. I think that when I very first got it, it was a handheld dynamic microphone that I was about to review, and I wanted to use that stand, and I just got so frustrated that I was like, basically just like, fuck this. I'm using the Hercules mic stand because I was done. But no, like if you put a little bit on it and everything, it works well and it looks great, but you just kind of have to, if you have a light microphone, compensate for that. So, let's see. Enrique Khan said, do you have a favorite boom arm? I know Bark really rates that low profile one. So actually the one that I love, believe it or not, is actually holding up this camera right now. I absolutely love it, and it works fantastically. It works well for like an overhead shot like this. Like I don't feel like it shakes too much. I'm actually shaking the desk right now. It's not too unbearable. Like it can actually handle it. And there are a lot of like overhead like setups that I've tried with like C-stands and everything that I feel like just a simple vibration of me like putting my foot on the ground is going to shake it way more than that boom arm. But that's actually the Vivo mic arm, and I think it is the same one that Bark uses. And I've said before, like I'm not the absolute biggest fan of a lot of like boom arms in general. Like I tend to just prefer your standard microphone stand. So I actually am very, very impressed by this. And this is the one. It's $80. So it's actually less than a lot of the ones like your PSA 1 or your, Blue Compass. So your standard ones are actually usually about 100 to 120. I can't remember. I think the PSA 1 Plus is 130. But yeah, like it's so good, dude. Like honestly, it's fantastic. It's so fantastic in fact that I bought another Vivo product to hold my laptop up like a little bit higher and everything. So right now I'm using like a monitor also, but I'm using like my 16-inch MacBook Pro M1 Pro. I don't even know what you call it now. But I'm using it to hold that up, and it's just rock solid. That company makes some very solid stuff. And the microphone, like the microphone stand boom arm is no exception. It's fantastic. So, yes. Let's see here. Love the... Yeah, Blue Compass needs weight. Yeah, agreed. Terry Shaw said, yep, that checks out. 14 USD is $4,000 Canadian. Yep, that is valid. So, but another thing, let's see here. What is another thing that I use a lot? There was a whole list of things, but now I'm just spacing out, and I left the notepad somewhere. So, another big thing that I use all the time are not only the ball heads, but also these little articulating, I don't know, what do you call them? Like friction arms, like the small friction arms. I use some bigger ones also, but But yeah, these things are fantastic. I absolutely love these. And it's one of those things that like a lot of audio people are like, "Oh, I don't really need that." But quite honestly, like if you shoot live streams or anything, or you do literally anything with video and audio, these things are great. Like with the Zoom F3, you can put this on here, and this is how I attach it to like a little generic camera handle, you know. So having these around, absolutely great. And that's another thing that you can also do is you can get an adapter like this. Where it's like a quarter 20 to quarter 20. I'll show you up here. Might be a little easier to see. Quarter 20 to quarter 20. And you can just like, you know, put that little friction arm on there. And then you can attach a quarter 20 to 3/8 and then a 3/8 to 5/8 if you want. And then you can actually use this to move your camera anywhere you want, which is actually even more freedom than if you use your, you know, like the ball head. So ball head I feel like is a little bit more secure. This is one of the more like wimpy, smaller, like friction army style things. So, but you can get some of these from Small Rig, the bigger version of these. I think with a clamp, which also I do love getting those little clamps also. Do I have one around here? Where are they? But dude, nope, I don't see one. I'm using them right now. Maybe I'll just show you. Oh yeah, I've got a camera of freedom. But this is like a friction arm that's holding up. Let's see. It's holding up a monitor right now. And dude, yeah, getting these little clamps. So you can get one of those little clamps with one of those smaller friction arms. I think it's like $13 or something like that. It's absolutely worth it. It's amazing. So definitely give those a shot. Those are some things that I absolutely love. But Vivo R or Boom Arm for my channel 2 years anniversary. Dude, yeah. That's well, and they're just like I don't know. I'm just not sold on a ton of boom arms. And I would love to try the Elgato low profile one. I feel like that might give the Vivo a run for its money. I'm not sure, but I don't know, man. Like I just love that thing, and I think that it does a great job for me and everything. I don't really need, you know, to get something different because I just love it, but I would definitely be open to trying the Elgato. So, but let's see. Now that we've tried out the SM7B for a little bit, I could plug in the RE20 or let's see. Any questions? Any fun stuff like that? I'm gonna take a drink of this cold tea now, and yeah. You use that church lady voice a lot. You know, I don't even realize that that's what it sounds like, but holy shit, that is what it sounds like. Yep, big Dana Carvey fan. You know, actually, I like him, but I never once thought that that's what it sounded like. But now that you're saying it and I've used it, you're absolutely right. Dave Harvey is correct. But yeah, no, that is what that sounds like. Okay. Well, I guess that's one of those things when you hear it when you're younger and everything, and and it just, I guess, makes an impression on you and you start using it. But Enrique Khan says, okay, I'll wait for your Vivo versus Elgato shootout. Dude, honestly, that would be a cool one because I think they are comparable. I like how I'm just holding this like, this is also an affiliated company. I'm just joking. It's not. Definitely not. But, you know, I think I will just briefly plug in the RE20 for funsies. But at the same time, like, I don't want to put you guys through that shit. So let's see if we can do it in an easier way. But let's see. So one other question that I do have essentially is a couple streams back, I did a quick overview of some Behringer vintage microphones, much like this one. They sent a bunch of these over, and yeah, you know, they're interesting. And I did notice when I listened back to that live stream, not that I like excessively watch my live streams or anything, and nothing like that. No, I don't watch my videos ever, actually. Ever. But I did hear a lot of grounding issues with a lot of them, and it was kind of crazy, actually. And I was like, hey, maybe it was an issue with like my stuff, like maybe for whatever reason, you know. But that was the weird thing. I would plug one of these in and it would sound fine. The next one would sound like it had just the craziest grounding hum ever. Nothing else changing in my studio whatsoever. You know, the next one would sound fine. Next one fine. Then just the next one would have an insane grounding issue. And so it does seem like it's going to be it's going to be an actual thing that I have to bring up when I... All right, guys, that's it. No, but I think it's something that I'm going to have to bring up when I review these and everything. But I'm curious, my impression and my idea of how to review these is to do like a quick overview video of all of them. Like I'll include all the stuff that I usually do. But I mean, are any of you guys like absolutely dying to hear these individually? Is this something that you guys are like, probably not going to watch that video, but maybe I'll watch it for hilariosity reasons? But you tell me. You tell me. Oh man. Yeah, Enrique Khan said, "Oh man, do those. I missed that live stream." Yeah, it was weird. It was weird how many grounding issues there were and everything, but with my home skillies here, I'm curious if you guys are interested in like very extremely detailed reviews of these microphones, or is it just something that you're kind of like, I don't really care. I was never interested. I do think that these are for a very niche audience. I don't think that they're going to be one of those USB microphones where I'm like, everyone should get this microphone because it's so good. Like, I think it's just, you know, some people are like, maybe they're trying to appeal to like a little bit older audience where they're like, you know, a lot of older people don't necessarily want to get USB microphones because there's a connotation to them where, you know, they aren't good or aren't good enough or something. And so they're trying to appeal with the older look and everything. I don't know what the plan is here. When I initially talked to them about it and everything and they sent them over, it was definitely more of a like, I think they wanted to kind of break from the traditional, like, let's all put out a USB microphone that looks identical, sounds identical. They wanted to do something different, and I commend them for that. And I know that these have kind of been like a little bit of the laughing stock of the audio community and everything, but I mean, I guess all I can say is at least they tried something different, you know, but I don't know. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I watch all your videos, man. Red Cabin Acoustic. Enrique Khan said that. And then Red Cabin Acoustic, I watch them all. Would never buy one except as a prop. But I would pass along the information to my students. Yeah, dude, that's fair. I would suggest a group review and maybe do an individual reviews of one of them. Like, something you'd like to say more about. Yeah, that's also that's a good point too. Like maybe if there's one that people are like, oh, that one sounds kind of good. Like I'd like to know this and this about it. Maybe grab that one and talk about it a little bit more. But I will say a part of me ever since that, sorry, I was reading comments, but ever since that video, a part of me has been reluctant and kind of like, I don't know, a little down on trying to review these because of the grounding issues that I heard, and not to mention just the overall sound of what I heard. But I don't know, man. I struggle with that since that live stream. But it's something that I said I was going to do, so I'm going to do it. Damn it. I'm going to do it. So look out for this. But Dave Harvey has an interesting take. Let's read Dave Harvey's. But I also do agree, Red Cabin Acoustic, he says that he would use them as a prop. And that's what I've been doing. I've had this guy up here for 1 or 2 reviews. And I think it looks cool. So, Dave Harvey said USB mics aren't good for 2 reasons. Now, dude, I'm invested now. I'm invested. Adaptability. Can't use with a bigger mixer. Like bigger mix. Yeah, absolutely. And also generally really bad zero latency monitoring, which is way too undervalued in live streaming. That's a very good point. And that's one thing that I did notice when I tried out the Deity VO7U is the zero latency monitoring on that microphone and the fine, whatever. I don't care. I don't even care, guys. I don't even care anymore. But the K658, like the headphone jacks on those and like what you hear back, it's the equivalent, even when you have nice headphones on, it's the equivalent of using like some shitty Apple AirBuds from 10 years ago. They're just never nice. Like the headphone preamps in there are just like, it sometimes is enough to hear yourself, but also other times it's just not that loud. Like they just are very low. And so I do agree with that. And this Dave Harvey, this is a struggle that I deal with on a daily basis because USB microphones are popular. And a lot of people want to get them because they think the big bad audio interface is scary, And I wish that I could explain to them a little bit better, like that. Hey, essentially the same thing. You plug it into your computer, it shows up, you select it, and that's it. There's not a whole hell of a lot to an audio interface that's different. Selecting it in like a DAW or a recording software that's different from a USB microphone. Like, yeah, USB microphones are plug and play. They're very easy. But I don't know. I don't understand people's really big hesitation with audio interfaces. Maybe it's just the fact that they're like, oh, I don't want to get yet another device and then get an XLR cable and then blah blah blah. But if you plug in your headphones to an audio interface, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a better experience than plugging them into a USB microphone. See, but here's where the struggle comes in for me, is I understand that a lot of people don't want to go the audio interface route. So a lot of them will just be like, no. Do not, if you mention an audio interface, if I smell the hint of an audio interface, I will freak out. I will shit my pants and then rub it in your face. That's what they say to me. And do they, like, a lot of people will just like freak out if I mention an audio interface. They're like, no, USB only, USB microphone only. And when it comes to that, at some point I still feel like I have to recommend what I can to them based off of their expectations, based off of their requirements. And so I do that, I base it like I would, I guess, anyone else based off of their requirements, whether they're recording instruments, vocals, or whatever. But these people are just like, hey, I only want an audio interface. And I'm not shaming people or USB microphone, not audio interface, but I'm not shaming people that just want USB microphones. I do understand the appeal. Absolutely. But yeah, compatibility is a big flaw when it comes to USB microphones. And it's one of the reasons that I've preached USB XLR microphones for a long time, because I'm like, you know what? Like, they might not be better than mixing an audio interface with an XLR microphone, but at least there's some progress that can be made. There's some amount of compatibility and everything that can be reached, so I get it though. I totally get what you're saying, Dave. I get it. I agree with you for sure. Red Cabin Acoustic. My wife, or wait, sorry, I skipped someone. My bad. I'll come right back to you. Enrique Khan, I'm not in love with inexpensive USB mics, and I don't really like Yuli's? Am I missing something here? Yuli's business practices? But I'd watch the vids. Oh, are you talking about the... Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about those microphones, like these microphones in particular, these vintage style USB microphones. Honestly, a lot of them seem like they're 40% overpriced, like compared to their performance quality. And that's another thing that has made me a little bit leery when it comes to reviewing them. But yeah. So, Red Cabin Acoustic. My wife is a set designer. I'm always on the lookout for interesting props and phones. That is one way that they look great, especially if she's involved in shooting like a vintage style like movie or something, or like TV series or whatever it is. Like that's one place that they could do well. you know. Um, Enrique Khan said these actually remind me of the neat widget USB mics designed to sell on their unusual look. Yeah, I destroyed one of those. Dude, oh my gosh, that's right. That was a fun time. Let's see here. You know, back in the day, which was a Wednesday, I used to destroy a decent amount of microphones for being bad. And, I wish that I just tried more microphones that were awful because I would love to destroy more microphones. But yeah, one of the ones that I did destroy, in fact, was one of the Neat Widget B, and it was a fun time. So what I did here, I'll pull it up, is I actually just destroyed this microphone. My dad drove his Jeep, and it was a fun time. It was a fun time for the whole family. So, yeah, good times. But, look at that. Dude, I miss doing shit like this. This is so fun. Oh, man. Who wants to send me a bad microphone? Wow. I really slowed that shit down a lot. It took a while. If I was cutting that now, I probably would have done it a little differently. But oh well. That's one thing that I will say is that my first videos, man, I watched them a little while ago. That was some cringy shit, guys. Thanks for sticking around if you have. But I feel like a lot of people probably say that. And that's the funny thing is like a lot of the things that I said weren't necessarily things that I disagreed with, but man, my idea of like how to put a video together and like how to not portray myself, but how to make myself feel natural in front of the camera was difficult for me for a long time, and I felt like I had to be one way, and I don't know. And now when I'm like talking into the camera or doing a review or whatever, I feel like I'm much more myself, and I don't know, like I felt like I was like playing a character a little bit, but only parts of me would come out at certain times. But yeah, like we all live and learn especially when it comes to making videos like on YouTube and everything. But am I suggesting that you destroy them in creative ways? Maybe. Dude, it might come down to that. I would love that. Oh, dude, these might be it. These might be my resurgence in destroying microphones. Yes, dude. Oh, I love it. coming from a guy who didn't know what an XLR mic was for till just a few years ago, audio interfaces are an additional expense and layer of complexity that the industry doesn't do a great job explaining. There you go. There's your answer. And honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself. Like, I get it. I totally get it. I think that I have been writing some stuff to make my own videos explaining, how to set up an audio interface and how to do some of that beginner stuff that I haven't personally went over. And that's one thing that I do absolutely agree with is like I researched some videos and looked up, what people were saying, or not what people were saying, what people were talking about when they would, introduce or talk about introducing an audio interface into their signal and everything. And a lot of it was either a little bit that I felt was a little bit complicated for a beginner, or B, like I just felt like it wasn't quite explained enough. And that's one thing that I know I do, and I know that I have done. And back when I taught like guitar lessons, and I'm not saying I'm a great guitar player, I taught guitar lessons, for like some family friends and everything. But like I would find myself explaining stuff not thoroughly enough to someone who was like a strict beginner, and it's just stuff that you're used to, so you're like, oh, I do this, and it's stuff that you don't think about. But when I was like sitting there writing out the entire script, like the entire shot list essentially, and I don't really script a ton of my videos, but for this one in particular, when it comes to tutorials or whatever, I was like, I really want to write it out because I don't want to find myself going, like not talking about something thoroughly enough. So I sat there and just wrote down every single little step. And I was, when I did my overview in my head, I was like, holy shit, I didn't think about that. I do think that when you've become used to certain things, you don't necessarily look at the whole picture. You're just like, oh, well, you plug your XLR into this and then you find your interface and then you start recording. You don't talk about, setting your gain, making sure that your phantom power is on if you're using a condenser microphone. You don't talk about all of these little intricacies that a lot of people don't think about. You know what I mean? So I absolutely understand what you're talking about. Just, learning that, when you learned that audio interfaces weren't necessarily a super scary thing, but at the time they were just like an extra expense and they were a little bit more complex. So that's fair, Oh, Blue's saying what's up. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but only my opinion text said, speaking of low output, I have the the Evo 4 and it won't even set the auto level with any of my dynamic mics, even an inch away without using a FET head. Wow, really? Even on max level input and output. Okay, wow. Yeah, no, I actually have an Evo 4 here, and I didn't get it too long ago, so I haven't really tried out the auto level stuff a whole lot. But now I'm really interested to do that. So I will, I'll have to try that out. I'll test it out. See what's up with that. It's very interesting, though. Very interesting. But speaking of a FET head, actually today, surprisingly enough, I've actually been using the FET head for a while, and I went with a cloud lifter today. So I felt weird about it. I felt like I was betraying the FET head a little bit. But I do feel like the cloud lifter is pretty clean. I like it. It's good. It's a good thing. So yeah, but hey, we'll probably wind down here a little bit. But I do really appreciate every single one of you stopping by and hanging out. We had some people come hang out. I think there was about double last time. So obviously my last live stream was so bad. I'm just joking. But no, I really do appreciate every single. It's always at the end that I start hitting the microphone. Have you guys noticed that if you've watched these live streams? But I really appreciate every single one of you guys stopping by. I can say, guys, we've determined this, but I do appreciate every single one of you stopping by. It's really fun to just, read the comments, hang out a little bit, talk some shit. But yeah, no, super fun stuff. So, we'll go over whatever comments come here in the last couple minutes, but we're winding down, winding down. Red Cabin Acoustic, the first TV production class I taught, produced mostly blank stares. Someone finally asked, "Can you start over?" I asked, "How far should I go back?" 4 weeks was the reply. I learned a lot. Dude, that's fair. I mean, like, I think that when you very first start teaching something, I think that you just expect that people are going to be on like a little bit higher level than they are. Not saying, not generally saying people are stupid, but like, I mean, I've kind of been on both ends of it. Like I've definitely been in a room with a new teacher that the half of the class is looking at each other like, what the hell is this guy talking about? But then I've been on the teaching side of it, being like, am I explaining this poorly? Like, I felt like I did a good job. Like, what's going on? So yeah, I mean, I definitely am going to, and I feel kind of bad, like in the sense that I know that a lot of people that watch my channel aren't necessarily beginners, but I do think it'll still be really valuable to a lot of people that want to kind of become, your audio lovers, your audio people that are going to join the conversations in these live streams eventually, that, need to learn the basics. So I do want to, teach, I do want to come out with some tutorials and everything on some of the basics, but I think that a part of it is a little bit when it comes to audio tutorials or even video tutorials or this or that. When it comes to tutorials in general, there is a certain amount of, let's say, like, criticism that some people are gonna like watch and be like, well, I do this and I do that and blah blah blah, and I think that that's kind of what did deter me a little bit from wanting to do audio tutorials. Not necessarily of the fear that I didn't know what I was talking about, but just mostly the dealing with all this shit where people are like, splitting hairs essentially. And it's just, I don't know. Like I've come to the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm confident. I'm fine. I feel like I can teach this well. I'm going to do it. But there for a while, I just like it wasn't that I didn't feel like I knew it well. It was just the fact that I didn't want to deal with all the shit. But you know what? I love shit now. Eat it for breakfast. You know what? So guess what? Fuckers. But seriously, thanks guys for stopping by. I'm gonna sign out here. I appreciate all of you. And I'm gonna put love you all. I don't know how to type. So but seriously, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with me. I do plan to do a little bit more of some live streams here in the future. My plan right now is to essentially do one every other week. And, I'm going to start making them a little bit more, not necessarily formal, but a little bit more planned out. But I mostly do just love coming on here, shooting the shit with you guys and hanging out. So, but yeah, I'll see you guys here in a couple weeks, and there will be another video coming out here shortly. And yeah, thank you.